Welcome to Shortstop on Pool, Rack of the Week number 209. It's an odd number. That means we're not doing straight pool this week. Let's do 8-ball. And Shane Van Boening just last night won the 8-ball U.S. Open at Griff in Las Vegas. We're going to take a look at that real quick. You can see my supporters on Patreon and YouTube on the screen. And I want to say thank you very much for your orders. Your response to the Bridgemate X2 has been overwhelming, frankly. I've shipped every single one that I have. This one goes out tomorrow. I'm taking pre-orders on the website. Go ahead and order it. I'm getting a large shipment in Friday or Saturday of this week, if you're watching this on March 9th or 10th or something of 2025. And those orders will ship Saturday or Monday at the latest. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's get into the rack. Shane Van Boening just won the U.S. Open 8-ball and the 10-ball held at Griff's Pool Hall in Las Vegas. I'll put a link to the description. Please support the Griff's YouTube channel. There are live streams and other videos on their YouTube channel. This tournament was made for Shane. As we all know, Shane loves 8-ball. Shane played a lot of his matches on the feature table in the corner here, which has tighter pockets. But these are standard tables, hand racking. That means we're seeing full power Shane Van Boening on display. What I'm talking about is, you think about other tournaments, especially the Matchroom events. For years, they've been fiddling with the rules. A break box, rack, template racks or hand racking, 9-ball on the spot or 1-ball on the spot, and a break box restricting where you can break from, etc. All of these things are designed to limit the effectiveness of a power break, which is ironic because everyone says, oh, we want a faster game for TV. Well, then rack the 1-ball on the spot and hand rack and let the players break from anywhere. But no, we have all these rules which in effect slow the game down and ensure that there are few break and runs and you get lots of safeties and kicks during every game. We're able to see Shane on full power here. It's hand racking with the 1-ball on the spot. The game's 8-ball. I'll give you one example right here. This is one of the many times that Shane made 4 balls on the break. You typically, he's going to be breaking near the center. You see excellent control with a lot of power. The camera angle is going to change here in a second, but very often Shane's cue ball is coming straight back off the 1-ball and stopping up here somewhere. Occasionally, it'll curve to the side rail and stop. Four balls on the break. No 2 balls touching. Solids and stripes are both equally runnable. I'm not sure what Shane's break and run percentage during this tournament was, but it was really high. Well, let's take a look at the break shot right here. The 7, 10, and 14 were the 3 balls in the bottom row. I call them the re-break balls. Now, when we play straight pool, there's usually a break shot on the side of the rack, and you can kind of predict which ball on the bottom row will go to the bottom rail and then rebound straight back up into the rack. And it often, if it has enough power, it can re-break the balls, re-break the rack. You're seeing a similar thing here. This is 8-ball. It's not straight pool, so the cue ball is hitting the head ball, the 1-ball in this case. And you're seeing the energy, if they hit it square, heading straight into the rack. The fuller that they're able to hit the 1-ball, the more you see the 3 balls that are in the center of the bottom row head as straight as possible to the bottom rail and then straight back up. And both of the corner balls take off on a path that leads each one of them around the table. If they, 4 rails around the table, if they don't hit another ball. So you're seeing the maximum and even distribution of the balls across the rack. So with that in mind, I'll play it again real quickly and just try and watch those 3 balls, 7, 10, and 14 in the bottom row. Watch where they go. Pretty much those 3 balls went straight to the bottom rail. All 3 of them hit the bottom rail within this zone and then went straight back, almost straight back up. That is what leads you to this kind of even distribution, lots of ball action, and lots of balls being pocketed on the break shot. Here's another example. Watch the 6, 13, and the 9. straight to the bottom rail and straight up. Once again, you're seeing, I think it's 4 balls on the break, but notice that the 9 ball tracked to this corner pocket. Shane's breaking from this side of the rack for whatever reason, and you're seeing those 3 balls go straight to the bottom rail. You're going to notice that he made the second ball in on the bottom row, which in this case was the 9 ball, banked up towards this pocket almost every single break shot, and quite a few of them, that ball went in. In this case, he made a ball over here and a couple of more balls. The point is, the fuller the hit on the 1 ball, the more you're going to see the action that I've described on the break shot. Let's take a look at an example where the hit was not quite as full on the 1 ball. This is Alex Pegulayan in the same tournament. Watch the 12 ball. So if you notice that, the 12 ball was the second ball in on this side, and it did not go straight down. It went to the side rail and around like this. The other 2 balls in the bottom row kind of went straight down. So if you're looking at the break shot, look at it at this point. The balls look like they're pretty evenly distributed. He's getting lots of action on the balls. There's no balls left in the rack area. But take a look at the final resting spot of the balls. Notice the 12 ball, as I mentioned, the 12 ball went to this side. We've got a cluster, not a cluster, but we've got a concentration of balls on this side of the table. Alex broke from that side. So you're seeing the energy go through the rack and back this to this side of the table. You're not getting an even distribution of the balls. You're not getting as much action in the balls. Therefore, you're not getting as many balls pocketed. Now, you could look at this rack and you say, oh my God, what a great break. And that was a great break by Alex. But it's not as good as Shane's break. It doesn't have as even of a distribution and not as many balls pocketed as consistently. And that's due to the fullness of the hit. And we're talking about the microdot here, folks. Shane is able to hit that microdot fullness of hit on the 1 ball at full power. That's what makes Shane one of the best 8-ball breakers, 10-ball breakers, 9-ball breakers that we've ever seen. Let's take a look at a couple racks. This is a game from earlier in the tournament. Roberto Gomez is breaking against Shane. Notice the 3 balls in the bottom row went almost straight to the bottom rail. Pretty good distribution of the balls. A little bit unlucky that he's got these 3 balls tied up in the upper right corner. Now, I'm not going to play the entire video and watch every shot. I want to make sure that you go to the Griff's channel on YouTube and watch it if you're interested. But we'll take a look at a couple key shots from this rack. First of all, Roberto got kind of unlucky. His opening shot, he shoots the 13 and bumps the 11. So in other words, he chooses to run the stripes. That's a good choice. They're all open except for these balls that are tied up in the corner. And if he can bump that 11 loose, it's very likely he's going to get a shot on the 14 or the 11 and be able to go from there. Let's take a look at the result of his shot. So he tried to move the 2 ball and control the cue ball and wasn't able to do it. Now here's the mark of a champion. Roberto gave it his best run at his best try at running out this rack. What would you use to open up this 11 ball? One thing I didn't point out earlier is that during this tournament, I talked about how we were seeing full power break shots on display. There weren't a lot of safety games. I know a lot of people really enjoy that about 8-ball. As a lot of times you get a lot of back and forth and safeties. We didn't see that. This was a power tournament. Lots of break and runs by everybody, but obviously the most break and runs by Shane. So Roberto is not thinking about safety here. He's thinking about how am I going to open up this 11 ball. You would really like to leave the 14 because it's the one up table that might give you an opportunity to do that, or be there as an insurance ball when you do break out the 11. But the only shot he has if he doesn't shoot the 14 is the 15, and that's no bargain. So he's going to shoot the 14 and play position down table. So let's advance to that shot. But Roberto knows that his best chance of running this rack is to get that 11 ball open as soon as possible. and he doesn't want to remove the 15 because that's probably going to be an insurance ball for opening up these two. So he goes for the breakout right now on the 9 ball. That's incredible, threading the cue ball between the 1 and the 15, come up there. And how unfortunate was he to hit that point and not get a shot? So now he's he's really unlucky there. Now his chances have gotten really low. He's trying to pocket the cue ball, float over here, so he's got an angle to shoot the 12 and come this way at that 11 ball. Misses the shot. So now we want to look at what is Shane going to do with this table. And he takes quite a while to study this from here. Let's talk about it real quick. Again, I'm not going to show every shot, but Shane needs to open up the 2. And then additionally, Roberto's shot tied up the 5 ball with the 8. So what are you going to do? The proximity of the 6 ball means opening up the 5 is not going to be that difficult. So he's not worried about that at all. He's going to get an angle here on the 6 to go into the 5 and open up the 5-8. So the only problem in Shane's mind is this, and he needs to address that immediately. So the only real problem is the 2 ball. Shane's got a shot on the 3 and the 1. And so once you've looked at it from that point of view, it becomes pretty obvious, I hope, that the 1 ball on the side, it naturally leads to a shot to open up the 2 ball, and you're leaving as many other balls on the table to give you the most opportunities once you open up that 2. Let's take a look at Shane's shot on the 2 ball, on the 1 ball to open the 2, and he's going to go behind them. Really smart. Even if the cue ball hit the 1, even if the cue ball hit the 2 ball coming out of that corner, that would have opened up the 2. The cue ball would have come this way. Would have had a shot on the 2, possibly the 3, or the 7, the 3 or the 2 somehow. As it is, he's got an excellent shot on the 2. He's already checked his angle. Remember, I said he wants to get this angle on the 2 ball. So 2 rails out of the corner, ensuring that he gets that angle. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate a shot on the table. So it looks like a pretty routine shot, right? Shane's going to shoot the 6 ball and run into the 5. You might think that the 5 ball is going to bump the 8 off the rail. The 5 ball would stay there. The cue ball will come off the rail. He'll either have a shot on the 7, or if the cue ball comes forward, he'll have a shot on the 3 in the side. He could also likely end up with a shot on the 5 ball this way. That all looks really reasonable, doesn't it? Let's take a look at Shane's attempt. And I'm not sure if that's what he was trying or not. It could have been. Shane's kind of in a tough spot. Is there a way to break out the 5 or the 8, move one of those and end up with another shot? I don't think so. The 3 ball doesn't go in this pocket. So if he shoots the 7 now, he would have to bring the cue ball all the way back across table here, and then he's got to try and get some angle on the 3 to follow forward. The chances are really slim here. I'm not going to show the shot. You can go to the Griff channel on YouTube and watch it. But Shane shoots the 3 ball and leaves the cue ball here and plays the bank shot and makes it. Cue ball over here, perfect position, 7-8 to win the game. That's outstanding play by Shane. You know he's been playing a lot of 1 pocket lately, and so that 5 ball bank into the corner was a super high percentage shot for him. But I want to demonstrate something on the table. I'm not sure when Shane shot this 6 ball, was he trying to bump the 5 ball directly into the 8? Or was he trying to go around it? Because that's what I would do. Take a look at this shot. Now, I think I've got these balls placed pretty similarly to what Shane had, but I'm going to stun the cue ball with right English to go to the rail above the 5 and then run into it. Now, you tell me, is that the better way to shoot it? I think it is. It's depending on the angles. Because the angle of the 5, that the 5 and the 8 were lined up, it was actually unlikely that you were going to knock the 8 ball clear. When you're opening balls like this is something we do in straight pool all the time and doesn't happen as often in 8 ball. But when you're opening balls like that, you've really got to plan out exactly where you think those balls are going. In this case, and Shane may have been trying to go to the rail. I can't tell. That may have been what he wanted to do, and he just didn't quite hit it right. I just wanted to show this shot. That's some food for thought for you when it comes to opening balls when you're running a rack of 8 ball. Little bonus, let's look at one more rack. This was during the finals versus Oliver Zolnoki. Apologize if I didn't pronounce that right. Another fantastic break, really even distribution of the balls. There is a little bit of trouble with the 14-5 up in the top right corner. And additionally, Shane doesn't really have a good opportunity to start with. I wonder how many players would be looking at playing a safety off from this break shot. Shane studies this for quite a while, and he does look at the safety opportunities, but he's called the one ball in the side, and he's playing the cue ball off from this pink ball in this direction. And I suggest that that was not an accident. Shane knew that he was going to hit that pink ball thin and send the cue ball in this direction. Now, that doesn't mean he was specifically playing position for the 6 ball over here, but that is what he shoots. He knew that he was going to get some type of shot on these open balls, and then he's going to plan for a way to break open that 5 ball up in the upper right corner. As it turns out, I was wrong about that. Shane simply came this way to play the 7 ball. Now, you might think he's going to try to break out the 5 ball by hitting it with some force to bump the 5 ball off the rail. Both of these balls go into this corner pocket, so those could be insurance on this shot. I was a little bit surprised by this, but also equally amazed. Shane is trying to float the cue ball over there, just come between the 14 and the 5 to get position. And by the way, if he hits the top of the 5 ball, then he's very likely for the 5 ball to go this way, the cue ball to go this way, and have a shot on the 5 ball down here. So rather than trying to break it out, he tried to play position. And that's amazing. With any other player on the planet, I would be looking at it from here and thinking, very unlikely to get out. Very unlikely to win this game. There's no more opportunities really to play safe. You have fewer balls on the table than your opponent. Shane has a shot on the 3, but there's really not much you can do with that. He's got a shot on the 5, but this strike ball is in the way of doing anything that's going to allow him to get on the 5 or break it out. This is one of the most impressive shots I felt of the tournament. It's a very straightforward shot, but just an incredible example of the types of things that Shane's able to do to get through these racks of 8 ball. A lot of Shane's racks were pretty straightforward. Not many surprises. Cue ball stayed in line all the way through. I'm just showing a couple of racks where he made some fantastic shots. This is a drawback from the 3 ball. Again, probably trying to draw into the 14 to get a shot for the 5 back down table. Take a look at this. Just hard enough to get the 5 ball loose and pass so that he can pocket it past the 14. Somewhat routine position, come around the 15 and get an easy shot on the remaining solid. That is classic Shane Van Boening 8 ball. Just a fantastic tournament. If you don't watch anything else, go to the Griff channel on YouTube and watch the finals. Amazing display of talent by Shane. He just pretty much ran away with it, and that's saying something. Next week, Rack of the Week 210, we'll go back to straight pool. Won't that be fun? And who knows what we'll take a look at for Rack of the Week 211. But stay tuned on Shortstop on Pool. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week on Rack of the Week. If you're going to play pool, play it straight. Bye now.